Alright guys, finally we have our Q&A Legend of Korra, and I have a special guest with me from my podcast series, Gravity Talks, SimpleHipster.
Hello there, guys.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. We had... It's like, some people are out there like, you're not talking about Gravity Falls, I'm confused.
It's okay. At least you're going to hear us talk, though, nonetheless.
Yes, you could listen to our lovely, lovely voices.
So lovely. Can you hear how lovely our voices are? Oh, imagine hearing that for an hour. That would be terrifying. Oh, gosh.
What, listening to the Bane? But I'd love to talk in just Bane voice all day.
See, you would do a good job on it. If I do it, it would just be like, oh, my ears. Oh, God, my ears. So I'd rather hear someone who does it much better than I do.
Oh, you're so sweet.
We have quite a lot of questions I heard from you.
Yes. And our first question comes from Mitch Meister, and he asks, should there be some skilled non-bender joining the Avatar group, like a skilled young swordsman or ninja or young Yuyan archer? I guess Asami kind of fills that role, really.
I felt like, yeah, in some way, like, I can understand, too, what they were coming from. Someone who was very skilled, still able to fight along with everyone. But we definitely saw Asami, doing quite a good job in the previous season. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, like, if I could pick someone, it would definitely be, like, maybe, like, some young swordsman who joins them. Maybe he could be, like, the great-grandson of the great, like, his ancestors, Master P and Tao.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm totally up for maybe, again, a new character coming and joining, again, the gang. Again, if it was a non-better, that would definitely be awesome, too, just seeing what they can do. But yeah, I'll be up for it, for sure.
Alright. I can never pronounce this girl's name, but Shia, LVC Burrero, 23, can never pronounce that name, sorry. That's the other thing, I apologize if I mess up your YouTube name to anyone watching. I suck at naming, and it's 3 a.m. and I'm tired.
It's okay. We'll forgive you this time.
And the question is, would you like there to be a female villain like Azula to go up against Korra, or do you prefer it against all male villains? The thing is like, I would like to see another female villain, but it would have to be good. I mean, it's following up compared to someone like Azula, that's really hard to follow. Not just for female villains, but male villains in general. I mean, Amon came close, and then that ending happened.
Again, I'm very curious too if they are willing to do another, again, female villain, what her role would be, again, in this universe with everyone else, or what's her agenda against Korra and the gang. But again, same idea too. I will definitely be up for it, but I'm very curious to how her character will develop, and if she would just be as a villain that we've seen before in the other episodes of Avatar.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because Azula is a hard act to follow, not just for female villains, but male villains in general.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. Next comes James Fan 1991, and he asks, what do you think about a Legend of Korra Doctor Who crossover? Something like if the Daleks, the Cybermen attacked Republic City, and the Doctor team. It's actually kind of funny because I do this segment called Fan Art Stories, and my friend PokeFangirl 4 and I did a fan-made story of the 10th Doctor meeting Korra, and it had them fighting the Equalists and the Cybermen. And it was fun. I mean, it'd be so cool to see the Doctor and Korra just talk. Because I think they have a lot in common. I think the Doctor would be so interested in talking to Korra, and just have, like, her cycle is so similar to a Time Lord's regeneration.
Right. I definitely agree too. Again, they're very similar hand in hand with the Avatars and the Doctor too. I feel like it was very cool, actually, just a crossover again, especially in Korra's universe. But I liked how you guys talked about, though, with your little idea. I thought that was very cool, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing is like, it would have to be that the Doctor tumbles into her universe, because, truth be told, I don't think the Avatar universe could be a part of our timeline.
Right. No, I definitely agree with that, too. Definitely.
Yeah. The question is, like, which Doctor could compare with Korra? I'd have to say the 11th Doctor, the newest Doctor, soon to be another older Doctor, because we've got Capaldi coming soon. um, so the 11th Doctor would be interesting, but I think she would really play. She'd really play off the third Doctor, John Pertwee, because he can be very headstrong and be like, I'm the Doctor. You can all shut up and just stand in the corner.
And that would be very interesting too. See both of their dynamics, both very headstrong characters going at each other.
Yeah. Or even actually, now that I think about it, I think Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, his Doctor was very brash, very arrogant, and very full of himself. Sounds like someone we know who can bend the four elements in this series.
That's true. That's true.
So I think the Sixth Doctor and Korra would have a lot more in common. And also, I'd love to see Korra making fun of his costume.
That would be true. Yeah, I'll be kind of up with any Doctor definitely going into Korra's universe. I guess one in mind for me, I don't know as much as the other Doctors that you do, but I guess for me, I definitely saw the 11th for sure. 10th with me was definitely one that I was kind of thinking about for a little while. But yeah, I think they were interesting to see more of the older Doctors in that universe.
Yeah. Side note, I think Asami would make a great companion for the Doctor.
Oh yes, I would definitely love to see something like that. That'd be very awesome.
Yeah. I mean, she's just companion material. She's intelligent, she's very witty, and she can hold her own. So I think Asami is perfect companion material for the Doctor. So thank you for that question, James Fan. Now moving on to Burnouter 7. And he asked, if Korra and her friends existed in either the Marvel or DC universe, which team do you think they would be on? Korra, even though she's young, I could see her being accepted into the Avengers. Maybe the Teen Titans in the DC side, or maybe the Outsiders. It's a team of older Teen Titan members led by Nightwing. I could, for Tenzin, definitely Justice League. Lin and Tenzin would be on Justice League. Mako and Bolin, they'd be Teen Titans or Young Avengers in Marvel. That's just a few. Anything you want to add to that, or?
No, I feel like I definitely agree with that. I feel like, again, either or, they could definitely go on each side. You kind of have to see, I guess, their personalities and how they would fit with the other characters, and of course their powers too. But yeah, I agree with your answers.
All right. So thank you for that question, Burnouter. Now moving on to our next question, coming from the Spawn 117, and he asks, "Oh boy, this is a long question." And keep in mind, Spawn, if you're watching, I've never played Warhammer. The only time I've ever gotten into the Warhammer series was the movie with Terrence Stamp and the Ultramarines video game. That's all my knowledge of Warhammer. But Legend of Korra and Army of Darkness, that's the other one. Like, could you see a Legend of Korra and Army of Darkness or Evil Dead crossover? Maybe. I mean, the Necronomicon's been around for millennia. It'd be cool to see Deadite benders.
No, yeah, definitely, especially next season too. It's about the spirit world. That definitely would go hand in hand with it for sure.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be great to see Korra just quote Ash all the time? Just be like, "Hail to the Queen, baby."
Yeah.
Or just grab Mako. Even much as I hate that character, she'd just grab Mako and be, "Give me some sugar, baby." Or this is my, I don't know, like Tenzin uses his airbending through his staff and be like, "This is my boomstick."
Oh my gosh. It would be like Avatar and crack, I feel like, for sure.
Yeah. So think of that question, Spawn. Next comes Linerman0245, and he asks, what other villains would you want to see in Legend of Korra? And he gives off a few that he'd like to see. Martial arts bending vampires, similar to the vampires we saw in Blade or 30 Days of Night. An evil counterpart to the White Lotus, evil Korra, and a militaristic Fire Nation terrorist group. Those all sound cool, really. I would like to see, out of those four choices, I would like to see an evil counterpart to the White Lotus. I'd really like to see, like, was there another society that existed that made the White Lotus, or was there an evil dark side to it? Like, did a White Lotus member say, "Fuck you guys," and make his own group? So I think that'd be interesting. I don't know if you could call it the Black Lotus. I think I'd if they came up, we got the Black Lotus, I'd roll my eyes. Um, Militaristic Fire Nation group, like maybe like that would be a cool way to bring in like you could, because I could see these Fire Nation terrorist groups kind of like the IRA or neo-Nazis, like they have that same kind of belief that the Fire Nation did, like they're the supreme benders and whatnot. And you could be like, that could be a cool what's the word, undertone for racism and these hate groups. So I could definitely see that too. What about you?
I like the idea of a dark Korra. Now, with that in mind, I guess my interpretation of that would be, again, Korra kind of fighting her own, like, evil spirit inside, kind of trying to control it. And, of course, we can see it throughout different episodes, trying to keep it at bay, and, of course, that fighting out. Especially, too, keep in mind with the spirit world, her trying to be at peace with everything, trying to control all those mediums, but still that evil spirit's trying to come out and take over, and, of course, crops mayhem all across the land.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because someone did make a question about a dark avatar later. We have a question similar to that, so
Okay.
I guess we'll go further into that. But thank you for that. Anything else you want to say?
Again, if you have to think about this era right now of where Korra is, again, it seems more of a race as an issue, like we talked about before with the whole Lotus thing. That would be such a great thing to see, and again, the Fire Nation as well, if they were kind of neo-Nazi-esque. I'm very curious too if maybe in one of the next seasons, if they might plan on to be something like that, because I could definitely see that being a big play on with some other nations maybe getting very upset with, them feeling like they're, undermined and then wanting to be like, we're the more supreme race than everyone else.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Also, quick note, martial art using vampires. I don't know if you could bring in vampires. That would be interesting. But I did read this cool fan fiction long ago that was set in between Korra and Avatar, where it had Katara and Aang and the group as they're older encountering these like subhuman beings that were the original bloodbenders, and they were kind of like vampires. They were the first bloodbenders.
That'd be very cool.
And I thought that was such a cool concept. They're not vampires, but they were kind of cannibalistic, and they looked really subhuman. Like, did you ever see The Descent?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they kind of looked like.
Oh, okay. Huh. Again, that would be very cool too, especially if they were in the underground and they finally can emerge, right, take over the world and everything.
Yeah, or just coming out to feed.
Or to feed too, exactly.
Yeah. So once again, thank you for that question, Linerman. Now we go to Travis Frendon. I hope I'm saying that last name right. And he asks, do you think Mako, Bolin, and Asami will find the firebender who killed their parent and get their revenge? Here's the thing, did you notice that all of the problems were caused by firebenders in Legend of Korra?
Yeah, I feel like I really realized that, and I wonder why, Mike and Brian.
Yeah. I mean, could someone just get bloodbend to death, like, or, a rock slide kills them by an earthbender? Why you gotta be a firebender?
I don't know. Again, I guess the Fire Nation has a lot of heat going on, a lot of anger issues. I don't know.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be so crazy if the firebender that killed Mako and Bolin's parents was the same firebender who killed Asami's mom?
Oh, that would be very interesting. It'd be good twist on that if they able to reveal something like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't like some kind of destiny thing. It was just by coincidence.
Yeah, I wonder though, if you think about it, if the guy who did do it, like, do you think he was some kind of general, or do you think he was just some random guy on the street who maybe was a criminal or something?
I'm thinking common criminal who, at first, he killed Mako and Bolin's kid, parents, excuse me. He killed their parents, like, as a hit to get himself higher in the triads, and then, like, when he got himself higher in the group, he got around to killing Asami's mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's the same character, though.
Right.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add to that?
I would love to see them, if we do ever find out who this person is, or if there were two people, if it's one person. It would be very nice to see, because again, ever since Avatar, we always wondered who killed Zuko's mom and everything like that, but we do have, apparently, the comics and everything kind of telling us a bit and everything like that, right? Or what happened to Zuko's mom and everything.
They've in oh god, the search is terrible.
Again, yeah, I haven't been really reading it, so I don't really know what's been going on. I'm curious though, with Korra though, if we are actually going to get any answers, if they're willing to tell us anything.
Yeah, well, we've got 4 seasons, so
do.
who knows? So, yeah, and also, if they do an episode, don't make it like a copy and paste version of the Southern Raiders.
Right.
Yeah. So, revenge is bad, okay? So, yeah, thank you for that question, Travis. Now going on to Rabbit Ears Blog, hope I'm saying that name right, and he asks, do you think Korra should have ended up with, who do you think Korra should have ended up with, Mako or Bolin, excuse me. I actually like Korra with Bolin a bit more than Mako, because Bolin's a better, and not by much, because a lot of these characters in the first season didn't get a lot of development. I thought Bolin could be with Korra a bit better. I mean, he played off Korra a lot better than Mako, because it was literally Zutara for the new era. That's what Mako and Korra was. You can't dance around that. I'm sorry, Makora shippers. It's just I hated their relationship, and that's what the problem was. They made the big focus of the show. Yeah. So who did you like better?
Actually, this might surprise you, but I'm actually a Korra shipper. But I'm very disappointed in how they were shown in the first season. I felt like they were shown not in a light that I would have hoped Mike and Brian could have done. I was sort of a Bora shipper for a bit, but not necessarily. Again, like you said before, the characters were not really shown that progressively this season. Again, it's the first season too, and I feel like for Mike and Brian, I wasn't sure if they knew they were even going to get any more episodes, but of course, come on, it's Avatar. They should have known. They probably might have gotten more episodes, but I am really hoping that Mako is kind of more redeemed, and we see more of a better development this coming season, because of course we're getting so many more episodes, and of course I'm so upset what happened with the whole Mako and Asami ordeal. That was so terrible too, and again, I wish it should have gone much better. But deep in my root, I'm still good with a Korra shipper. I know there might be other people out there who would probably hate me for it, and there's other people who might agree, but overall, I'm a bit disappointed what happened in the first season. I just hope it gets better later on.
Yeah. Same. I can't argue with it. I'm a Mora shipper. Well, I was until the character got stupid. Amon got stupid. So now I don't give a shipper.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize for not liking Makora.
Mm-hmm.
So if we may continue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a lot. Is that a you?
Yeah.
NB Free. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher these names all day. What comic book characters do you think could work in the world of Avatar? I'd say Storm and maybe Ra's al Ghul. Storm, I don't know. Ra's al Ghul maybe because he's immortal, and I could definitely see ninjas working in this universe. Kiana, if you don't, do you remember the villain in Batman Begins? The one
Yes.
Liam Neeson played. That's Ra's al Ghul.
Yep, I know. Yeah.
Personally, okay, Ra's al Ghul I could see working. I'm gonna say, believe it or not, I'm gonna go with Swamp Thing and Animal Man. These are two DC characters, and I'll tell you why. Because they're both connected. Swamp Thing is connected to this elemental force called the Green, which is this tether that connects all plant life, and Animal Man is connected to the Red, which is the tether that connects all animal life. And that's a cool way of bringing in balance, and there's been different incarnations of Animal Man and Swamp Thing throughout the different eras of time. So I think it'd be interesting to see like a version of Animal Man and a version of Swamp Thing encounter the Avatar, and have kind of like the Avatar being the balance between the Green and the Red, and the other dark force called the Rot.
Interesting.
But that's just me.
Right. That's just you.
Yeah. Just me being crazy. What about you?
Well, I am not as big as a comic book reader as many other people, including yourself. So honestly would say I don't really have an answer for this, just because I do not know many characters that I would think fit into the Korra universe. But what you said though, I'm definitely for it. Seems you're more knowledgeable. That would make sense that would fit into this universe.
All right. I don't mean to come. Sorry, Kiana. I just. And I used your name, your real name. Oops.
It's okay.
Um. Okay. So gonna move on to the next question. Samurai Girl 02 asks, "What did you think of the whole love triangle thing as a whole?" Oh, you mean the thing between Korra, Asami, and Mako? You mean where Mako got totally pushed Asami out of the way? I hated it.
Yeah, it's a thing that I feel like everyone agrees that we don't get why it was there. We don't understand why it was there. It's just never made sense to anybody ever in this whole world. I did not enjoy it. It made me very upset the whole time. Like, it reappeared, this whole love triangle thing. I was just like, really, guys? Really? This has to happen?
It's literally they just made what, you know what they literally did? They made Mako Bella, and Korra and Asami Jake and Edward.
I guess, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and when I compare your shit to Twilight, you have up.
I don't know why they really felt like they really should set a whole love triangle thing going on, or even romance in general, in like this first season. It never really made sense. Sure, there could be a little bit of romance here and there, but not be so significant throughout the episode where it should matter, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that Avatar didn't have that in its all 3 seasons. They didn't bring up the romance thing until later in the 3rd season. It
was very subtle too. Like, you might notice things here and there, but it wasn't all blend out to like romance. Here you go.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh hey, Aang and Katara, you're gonna stand. Oh no, oh you're gonna make out. Okay, bye.
Okay. I don't know. Again, I guess they were really trying to push forth the romance. Again, maybe they're like, we need some more romance. Just throw it in there. Yeah, let's go. But at the same time, it's like, you could really, made this really slow, took your time on it, progress these characters, maybe find like, oh my gosh, I think I'm falling for you. Not just all around, all right, I'm going to make out with you. Boom. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't like it, Samurai Girl. Yeah. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry, Samurai Girl 02, but thank you for that question. Next comes Animal Box 300, and he asks, if you could live in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender or Legend of Korra, which timeline would you choose to live in? Given a choice, Legend of Korra, because I'd like to use bathroom.
You don't want to be a part of the tribe and everything like that? Really?
Okay, would you really... be honest, hipster.
To be honest, I don't know. Korra is such a new universe still to me. I would really love to see how it's like. I don't know, to really progress through it. That I can't say both because I know I have to pick one. So I guess I'll go with Korra. There we go.
Yeah. Indoor. That universe, I assume, has indoor plumbing.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And probably the food's better, safer to eat.
Safer to eat, yes. But it would be nice to visit the Avatar one, though, for a little bit, just to see how it is. Maybe go back to Korra. I'd be like, okay, this is probably much better for me.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that question, Animal Box. Next comes Roblin's Art 1. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really butchering these names. Do you think we shall get more backstory on Aang and the rest of the gang? That's actually kind of, yeah, they kind of mention a lot that they're going to do a lot of flashbacks to the rest of Aang and his group when he was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was kind of a quick yes. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it.
I'm very curious to which areas, again, we're going to be seeing with the flashbacks, and of course when we're going to see them too. But I'm very looking forward to that. I really want to see how they were like, of course, growing up, or what happened in the past and everything.
Yeah. My thing is that how much of the comics follow the story, because Mei and Zuko are not together anymore. And they kind of allude that Suki may be Zuko's a new love interest. And I'm like, oh, you have just pissed off every Sokka and Suki fan.
I don't know. I guess we just have to see when we do see the flashbacks or where they do come up.
Yeah,
You
know the second if we see Sokka and Ty Lee together, the fandom's gonna go to DEFCON Red.
Everyone's gonna be like, "What just happened? No, no!" I would see a big explosion in the fandom for sure.
You know, if you thought the shit that was going on in DC Comics that was bad, you just wait till if that happens. You'd be hearing like the nuclear sirens going off.
It'd be one of the dark days of Avatar. I can definitely say that.
Yeah. You'd have thought the Russians from Red Dawn had come in. The fandom's having a shit fit like worse than Hurricane Katrina. I could go on with this.
For sure, you can. It's just it would be very terrifying if that ever did happen.
Yeah. So think of that question. Roblin's art. Now we move on to Proco Locor. Oh man, I am so messing up these names. I've said that enough. How do you think the final season will end? Do you think it's going to connect all of the story arcs from all 4 seasons, or are the arcs going to stay separate? I don't know. I mean, we kind of talked about this with Gravity Falls. We talked about Gravity Falls in this episode. That's the thing. Like, we know with Gravity Falls that's all going to connect. With Korra, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I think we just have to see like what season 2 is going to happen, and when we do see how season 2 starts developing, we might make assumption that they may all connect together, or possibly not.
Yeah, that's all I can say is that it's just one of those wait and sees kind of moment.
Definitely.
Think of that question. Now it comes from Bella Gaia 99, and this person asks, do you think they'll dive into the backstory of Mako and Bolin and when their parents were when they were with their parents before they died?
What do you think?
I don't know. Like, I think they've said enough that their parents died, but then again, when they said Katara's mom died by a firebender, we were all just like, okay, oh, you're not going to bring that up anymore. Okay, that's enough backstory. Oh, you did an episode and it was cool. So that's what I think. We may get more story between Mako and Bolin of how that day happened. Like, I can imagine, oh, they went to go see the movies, and then their father took a back alley, and out came this guy with it. I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, like you said, I could definitely get to see an episode or maybe a few episodes leading to that. Maybe, again, if they might have found a lead towards the person that had killed their parents, maybe Mako probably is the one that really wants to go after him and stuff like that. Maybe Bolin's like, you shouldn't really take on this idea of revenge. I could definitely see that showing up, and again, maybe showing flashbacks of their past too with their parents and how their life was like before that. But I'm hoping we do see it. I'm not sure when they will show it up, but I would really like to see an episode about that.
Yeah, that would be cool. So I'll give that a solid maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that question. Our next question comes from Fire Tools, and he asks, do you think Amon would have been a perfect character transition into Season 2's theme Spirit if they didn't ruin his backstory? Oh, you mean when they came up with that backstory that the spirits gave him the ability to unlock bending? I thought it had been a great idea to build, like, he would be a cool transition to Season 2, he gets defeated by Korra, not, running away in a speedboat like a Bond villain with his quote-unquote brother, and blowing up. I think it would have been cool if they stuck with that whole spirits thing, and him going back to oh, I'm sorry I failed you, and then you see this dark spirit rise up. He's like, I taught you everything, die! And, I don't know, I think that would have been cool if he was legit and said the spirits taught me, and yeah, it'd be cool to see that the spirits are kind of sick of bending, and they're kind of focusing all that rage at the Avatar. That would have been a cool way to bring in Season 2. But we didn't get that.
No. Again, with the idea, I definitely agree too. It would be a very perfect, again, tie into the next season for sure, again, dealing with spirits. But again, we could definitely have gotten a better storyline of it with Amon, which, again, I was a bit sad about what happened, again, with the leading to his flashbacks about his past. I was kind of a bit let down about it, even though I was like, okay, I kind of understand, but not really at the same time. I just wish they could have developed it better. But sadly, we wish, but we don't get that.
Yeah. Hey, Mike and Brian, I can write a better story than M. Night. Come on, hire me.
Here's my resume. Here you go.
Yeah, that I just magically pulled out of my ass. Yeah, it made a poof sound.
Oh gosh. Okay. Next question. Next question. Come on.
All right. Okinawa Kid Prime asks, "What do you think of Asami Sato as a character?" I love Asami. Not that kind of way.
Okay.
I think Asami's a great character. She just didn't get a lot to do other than be the Jake to this this Twilight-esque triangle.
Yep. Again, yeah, I really did like Asami's character too, and I really wanted to see for sure a development of friendship between Asami and Korra. These two badass girls, fighting, these bad guys off, and I'm really hoping that the next season we do again see a good development on her, and again, her leading a good friendship between the rest of the group, and especially Korra as well. I'm very curious too how it's going to be like for her taking over her father's company now after what has happened with him.
Yeah, I did see a clip where they talked about where Asami is being told that no company would ever touch them after their father's actions, and I really want to see them do some focus on Asami trying to pick up the pieces. She's a 17-year-old girl with a failing company, and she doesn't know what to do. I think that'd be a great subplot. But in terms of the first season, I thought she was great, and she didn't want to start shit with. When you think about it, she didn't want to start shit with Korra. It was Bako's fault.
Yeah, but again, it's such a bummer thing about it too, especially a lot of people who were kind of bashing Asami's character, especially with that in mind, who are also again the Korra shippers. But I just feel like that, that's not the case at all. Don't blame Asami. It's not her fault. It is especially Bako's fault with a lot of things we've seen in the scenes. She didn't do anything. She stood up for herself. She's a strong, determined girl. Didn't want shit. It's just, that happened to her, and it wasn't her fault at all.
Yeah. I also find it kind of funny that the actress who played Yue in The Last Airbender, that's Asami's voice actress.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and you don't have to have a hairstyle that makes your head look like a... Never mind.
Oh, gosh. Oh, come on. Next question now.
Oh, I have fun. Okay, Boo Rat. No, really, that's how I pronounce his name. Boo Rat. Full Metal Alchemist Avatar Legend of Korra crossover. How would you go about it? I think it'd be something like Last Airbender a long time ago. Okay,
yes.
Would you really want to throw Star Wars in there? Okay, Full Metal Alchemist and Legend of Korra. I don't know how you could do that. I mean, it's kind of... They have the same kind of close to worlds, but I don't know how you could get the two worlds to meet. I mean, it'd be cool to see Ed and Korra would be great to see them hang out together.
Sure.
Because I think the banter would be hilarious of just Korra calling Ed Shorty and him calling